up, Mom?
How you doing?
This is an interview that I think a lot of kids should do with their parents, but
Okay.
in this segment that we're doing right now, this is based off of something I used to do for myself. It was like a yearly review I used to do for myself called the journey so far.
Okay.
So back in like 2018, something like that, I would just hop on and just tell everybody what I've been up to.
Okay.
I haven't done it since 2019, and that one was very intense for me because I was losing my apartment and my job, and COVID was starting and all that stuff. So I said I want to take this medium now and let other people do it too.
Okay.
It's not even like a venting, but I just want to know what you've been up to for the last couple of years. Like, what has your journey been like so far up until this point? I feel like maybe we can start from 20. Maybe we'll start right where it started for me in 2017, where 2 years prior to that, I went through what I went through with my roommates and everything like that, and coming back home, and then we get to that back to the house, and Chislehurst is there, and it's like, oh man, we are not going to be able to keep this house. I want you to start from there, and then bring us up to where we are now.
Okay.
So yeah, first introduce yourself.
All right. Good afternoon. I am Natasha Johnson, Natasha Rose Johnson. I am Marcel's mom. And man, these questions, oh man, this guy's so intense. So you want to go back to 2017. Man, I remember moving to Chislehurst Court. We had great experiences at that house.
That's my favorite house.
And I think it was everybody's favorite house because so many kids, all the kids are like,
yeah.
See, that's where we had cookies, Thanksgivings, and we still do it, but it was something special about Chislehurst. It was very warm and inviting. And I think we have always tried to move into a place where it would be warm and inviting. Kind of fast forward, we have Jonathan there, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to buy another house because this Chislehurst was a home that we moved into after we sold our very first home in 2012. So I didn't realize we were at Chislehurst.
We were there for a long
5
time.
years.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you graduated, you had gone away to college, and you came back there before you moved out. So, so 15, we have Jonathan, we have, great memories there. We're still living there, having a good time, but we're still thinking, hey, we need to buy a house. So my husband started a trucking company, both started trucking, and with that, it was car hauling. So it got into the automobile hauling, and things started to really change for me at that time because I needed to really figure out what works for my household.
Okay.
I had been a CNA. I worked in schools, just trying to keep up with the children.
When and it's something maybe I don't remember because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
LTE started in Chislehurst.
Yeah.
Really?
2016.
Is that what that? Okay, maybe it's just a back memory because I remember coming to y'all one day. I had moved out already, and I remember Bo was like, "I want to show you something," and it was a big black binder. And so that's what LTE was starting in there?
Yeah, so that was the first corporation. That's when we first started LTE, and that was 2016.
Wow.
So our intentions,
okay.
So I knew the time was coming up for the rent to be, the lease to be renewed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, man, it'd be nice to buy this house, but, I'm just looking around. So I signed the documents, send them in, and I never forget, it was Valentine's Day. And we were hustling to look for somewhere to live. The property management company called us and said something about the apartment, about the house.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, we noticed that you signed the lease, but the owners are ready to sell. Would you guys like to buy? What? I just signed the lease. I didn't discuss this with my husband. I have no time. So the realtor, he was really awesome. He came to the house. He's like, you guys have been living here for a while. It'd be good if you could buy it. But we were still so green, and I had not started working full-time anywhere to support the income that was coming in at the time. So I didn't feel confident. And Bo was just like, no, it's not a good idea, not right now. So we understood that, but then they gave us 30 days to find somewhere else to move.
Okay, so let's halt right there real quick. Because I never really understood what happened in that moment. Because I was like, I was coming back from the apartments. Because remember when the things happened with Dexter and them and Allison and all that.
Yeah, we were at Chislehurst.
Right, we were at Chislehurst, and I come back, but I came back and I was coming back in like little increments because I was moving my stuff out of the place. So when I get back, I didn't realize So that was 2016 that I came back. I thought it was before then.
No.
So let me ask you, with me returning like that, how did you feel about me coming back home like that? After the circumstance, the circumstance that we were in.
Well, I was so concerned for you during that time. It was October 2015. I had this nice round belly in front of me, and I am so concerned because I had never seen you nervous before. So that was concerning for me, but I figured maybe you'll find comfort being amongst your family with what happened. Okay. And Bo and I thought it was a great idea at the time. Like, yeah, he need to just let's hit the reset button.
Right.
And there's nothing ever wrong with hitting a reset button. So you came back, and of course, Jonathan is born, and then we got to move now. So now you're going to grandma's because we found something. So we were Valentine's Day. I never forget. And this is I don't know. This is just one of those things where like who you have on your team for real. And I remember it was Valentine's Day, and I had already set up for some people to come and clean the house because it's a rental home, to clean the rental. But I never forget, Bo bought me Valentine's Day card, roses, and a whole thing of chocolate covered strawberries. And I was like, in all this mess, he still found time to celebrate.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Right, he's the GOAT. And I'll tell him that too. Like, you're the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
So we drove around. Like, we were just scrambling. Like, oh my gosh, we have got to find a place to live. We got these babies. We got to have a place to live.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the apartment thing was just not.
I don't think it would have jived with a new baby.
It wasn't. And it just didn't fit our life.
9 or 10 or something like that.
It didn't.
Yeah,
Remember, it was 6.
It was 6. He was 6. Yeah, so
that was a time where he was still learning to really get to self-regulate.
Right.
So we knew that and then I wanted to feel safe, and because Bo's on the road, he wanted me to be like, okay, she's comfortable going in, out. So we drove around, and somehow we came up on Ponderosa. And we're like, that's little and cute, but ooh. And Bo said, just a short while, Rose, we're gonna get out of here.
So okay, and I want to kind of jump up to the Ponderosa days because I was not there.
Yeah, exactly.
I lived there. I don't really know how Ponderosa life was. Can you give me some of your, maybe 2 of your fondest memories of being in Ponderosa?
Oh my gosh, fond memories. That place was so tiny. We used to walk, amongst each other. I think the fondest times was just watching the kids grow. Mm-hmm. And like my grandma, Nini, was still alive at the time, and she would come over. But Ponderosa taught us what not to do. Ponderosa taught us to make stable decisions and to know what to look for in your next home, because it was such a small space, but we never wanted to be caught off guard ever again. So that's what Ponderosa, but the fond moments. So I'm going to go back to the fond moments. Moments, always when my nieces are with me with the kids.
Shout out to the girls.
So I had a big pool. I had water. We had great times there because the yard was about half an acre.
That was literally a half-acre lot, for sure.
That was a half-acre lot with this tiny house.
It didn't make sense, actually.
They renovated and they rehabbed this home. It was beautiful, but
they should have just knocked it
over
and built a big house.
Was just so amazing that we made like really fond memories. I got pictures and things I can look back on, and I never forget because we host Thanksgiving. It was the tightest Thanksgiving ever.
Oh, I remember that.
We were like crammed
up in there, yeah.
But then another thing that I can say, another fond moment was the day after Thanksgiving. You and the girls, y'all were all on the couch, and we were like recording you.
Oh,
he's like, "Why y'all waking?" You were like, "Why y'all waking me up?" And we were like, "We're just playing, Marcel." But that little downstairs room, or not downstairs, but that little step off,
or whatever.
Yeah, we would just step off into that place, and that's where the kids would have fun, and it was cool in there. It was just a cool little spot. So fast forward, I'm like, listen, we gotta move. And I knew in my heart and soul that we needed to buy a house.
And that's how you ended up in.
And that's how we ended up here, because we were I think I was more determined than Bo, but he understood what I felt. And I was like, we're not renting another house. You work too hard to keep renting.
Yeah, it's time to buy.
It's time for us to actually buy a home that we can call our own and create memories and have our own things there. And I was so determined. I don't know where the fire came from. I shouldn't say I don't know, because the Lord was like, fired up. You're not renting another home. When you leave here, you're going to move into your own house.
Right.
So fast forward, 2020 comes and a lot happened. You know, I lost my job. I tried to keep my job, but because school was going to go back in session. And so with going back to school, with going back to work, I thought that they were going to have they said that school would start online. So I figured, okay, so my son, my youngest one, can go to school. And the middle child, Lambert, of course, he could go to school and learn, you know, throughout the day, but they had no space for children to come to school.
So John couldn't go.
John could go, but Lambert couldn't go. He'd have to be home online going to school. And I was like, that's not going to work. So fast forward, I said, okay, well, let me come and work part-time. That was a no, because now they're ready for me to come back to work. So they said no. I said, okay, no biggie. So I started going to my sister's house, and I started looking for this house. I ended the lease at Ponderosa because the numbers were way out of pocket, and I was like, there's no way we're going to spend $1,500 in this
box
where we're bumping into each other to go to the bathroom.
And who knew inflation would turn
oh my gosh,
a house that was for rent for $1,500 into a 1-bedroom apartment for about the same price for less square footage. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy.
It's crazy, but it was a good time because homes were so cheap.
Back then,
2020 October, homes were so cheap.
Yep, and then of course with COVID going on, people couldn't do it anyway.
Yeah,
and that's what caused the inflation that we see happening now.
Right. Yeah.
I wanted to kind of focus in and just make sure we stay on you too, because this is your moment for things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're telling your truth right now, and I love it. I want you to talk about what made you go to the illustrious, the big time, Elaine Sterling esthetician school.
Let's get into it. Let's
give
get
me some
into
of
it.
that, because that's
Let's get into it, because that's good stuff. So Elaine Sterling was a choice. Me being who I am and always wanting to learn like everything, you know, like the little jack of all trades quote. People need to read that. They need to read the whole thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Coming from somebody that's like that. Yes.
Okay. Can I just read it real quick while I'm on
Go
here?
ahead and read
it.
Okay.
So the jack of all trades, everybody looks at it in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
But the quote, the jack of all trades.
You can look directly into the camera and say this so people understand.
So, what is the full saying, jack of all trades? It might even be positive. If this prompted me to go back and research the original quote, it turns out the full quote actually reads, jack of all trades, master of none, though oftentimes better than master of one. So, what does that mean? Someone who has skill in many different areas. That's me. I don't have to be master of one thing, because I have mastered so many things. So yes, I have a lot of skill set behind me. I have a lot of trades that I've learned. And going to Elaine Sterling was one of those things that just pierced my soul. When I say going to Elaine Sterling was meant to be, I graduated. I did very well there. I don't have my license yet, but I will. It's all about money. And during the time I paid out of pocket for it. And it's just one of those things that is very passionate and dear to my heart. So even if I'm not doing a facial, I'm going to be doing something to make sure someone is taking care of themselves. I'm going to be doing something to make you feel better, because then I feel better that you feel better. So yeah, I'm a jack of all trades. Yeah, I'm a CNA. I can take care of your healthcare needs. I can take care of your...
Big yourself up.
If you have kids that are on the spectrum or have different learning styles, I'm that girl. So I had a glass of wine the other day, which I don't typically drink anymore, but I wrote on a piece of, I wrote on a picture that I took of my glass, I wrote, I'm that girl, your glass of wine. And I am, because I feel and I know that I've been purposed and blessed to be a blessing to others, to share information, because I'm going to do all the research. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call me, because I'm going to give it to you.
What's the name of your business, by the way?
You would ask today. So I have rebranded myself as the Gray Rose.
Oh. Hold on, Mom. Wait a minute. The gray rose.
The gray rose is of excellence. The gray rose stands up.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. And I was inspired by that, by my car that I purchased, the gray rose.
Oh, because the Nissan is gray.
Yeah, it's gray. And I said, I'm Rose.
Right. So
the gray rose.
Give me a little background on Jonlamar, because I feel like people were hating on that heavy.
It was hated on.
Because they just didn't understand like the concept behind it. So I want just clarity for everyone.
Okay. So Jonlamar. I have 3 wonderful sons. And I had been thinking, like, what can I name my skincare? What can be luxurious and sound all fancy and stuff without it being just geared towards skincare? I wanted it to be an overall enterprise type thing. And I was just sitting. I always write notes on my walls. So I had a note and I was like, Jonlamar. I was like, oh my goodness. Jonathan, Lambert, Marcel. Marcel was born first, Lambert in the middle, Jonathan, Jonlamar. Because Lamb John.
And that sounds crazy.
Didn't have that flow.
That
but that Jonlamar, it hit different. And some people loved it. Some people were like, oh my gosh, people won't know what that means. Well,
thanks.
That's the point. I want you to ask me what Jonlamar is. Jonlamar, so I'll tell you a little bit. Jonlamar is the experience that you get when you see me. That's what Jonlamar is. Jonlamar is about the experience that you get when you talk to me. I'm going to give it to you every time. So that's what Jonlamar is about. And not necessarily skincare. It's about making that connection with me.
Right.
You make that connection with me. You make that connection with me. And you're like, man, when I talked to Jonlamar the other day, she gave me some nuggets.
Right.
I gave my doctor pearls today. And she said, girl, when you come back, I hope you give me more pearls. Because I'm reading something. And she's like, this was so good. So Jonlamar stands out. Mm-hmm. But that gray rose.
When you were at Elaine Sterling, had you already started thinking about making a business happen like that?
I did, because I knew I wanted to be independent. And after I graduated, I did work at a spa. But the lady was like, the owner of a franchise, she was like, so you're going to take my clients from me. And so if you come here and work for me, how long are you going to stay? And she's like, you're going to take, so when you do a facial here, you're going to take that person from me. I said, well, I would like to build my clientele, of course. And she was like,
But see, she's not even thinking on a macro level.
She wasn't.
Of like, oh, this girl could bring business to me because they're gonna go, hey, didn't the lady Natasha come here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but she does client-based work only.
Right.
I can do you now though.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? She's not even thinking about the spread of, because it's like I'm gonna reach back, but I think what's happened in society a lot is people have burned each other.
Yes.
To the point where they don't trust anything or anybody, anything that they can't make money off of right away. Yeah. They don't trust it. And I think that was a silly move on her behalf.
Yeah, and I worked there for just a few days just to kind of get a feel for I understood how to run a spa because in school we actually do management. We do spa management.
Right.
So
I'll teach you how to
if you call me to hire me at your spa, I can do it because I know what it's like. Now the scheduling, I'd have to learn it, but I know what it's like to look at a schedule and block out time. So she didn't think like, oh, well, maybe her spa clients will want a massage because there's massage therapy there, which I am not a licensed massage therapist. But yeah, so that was a goal, and it was something I said I'd do by my birthday, and I did it. So
and here you are.
Here I am.
When was that? That you graduated? When did you graduate?
2022.
Wow.
Yeah, October.
Wow. That was 3 years ago?
Yeah, and I actually went to graduation in November. So, yep, 2 years have gone by, and now 3 years. Yeah. So, yeah. Wow. Yeah, time flies.
So we've shot through like a couple of years just now. We went from 2017 up until 2022. You know, Elaine Sterling and the beginnings of Jonlamar. I actually remember being one of the first people on your bed here. Yep. And getting wood therapy. Yeah.
I actually went to Texas to train while I was before I went to Elaine Sterling. It was like a week before or 2 weeks before. Yeah, I flew out to Texas, nervous as all can be, to become a body contouring specialist, and I still enjoy that. And a lot of people keep asking, like, "Can you do it for me?"
Plug it right now.
If you're still interested in getting body contouring, whether it be wood therapy or cavitation, high frequency treatments, anything like that for the body, anything with body sculpting, just call me. And I'm still your Avon lady. So call me. I'm ready to give that service, provide that service. I also will do back treatments, hot stone massage, very limited within my scope. And I do enjoy giving a good back scrub with a massage. So 678-760-5355. You call me and I'll come to you.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yes,
A real fire plug.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. We've gotten up to 2022
Yeah.
and we kind of even skipped into 2023 a little bit, but
yeah.
So now, you know, you got a new business name. That's been in the tuck. It looks like, because I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Gray Rose. So tell me, and you don't have to go into detail, because I believe in just manifesting and just doing it.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying. Just do the thing. You know, we both been reading books. You're reading a book by Mel Robinson.
But Mel Robin.
Robin. What's it called again?
Oh, let them.
Let them.
Let them. Let me.
And then I'm reading a book by Jim Rohn called The Art of Exceptional Living, and there's a lot of parallels in between those. And I'm pretty sure they probably were fans of each other, or she was a fan of him, because he's an older guy.
Okay.
And to be honest, I think he might have passed away.
Mm.
But I was saying all that to say the act of just doing, and I've seen you do that quite a bit throughout life, and that's what's inspired me. So I'm gonna give you your flowers real quick.
Thank you.
You inspired me so many times because you're one of those people that just does the thing. Right?
Yeah.
Even if you're not sure, you just be like, you know what? Let me do it. Like to fly to Texas and be like, yo, let me get this certificate.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes because we're like that, other people don't understand it until you meet other people who are like you, that are like willing to take a risk like that. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I mean, why would I go and get something like that? I'm never going to use it. Well, it's like, but what if you want to use it? What if there's an opportunity to use it and you don't have it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I remember I went and got my forklift license.
I remember that.
And I never did any forklifting, but I always had it though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could never get hired for some reason. But anyway, yeah, I just want to give you your flowers, man. Like you've been rocking and rolling for a long time.
Yeah.
In the beginning it was just you and I for the most part. You know, the family was there, but like for the most part, just been you and me. And then of course you meet Bobo, and then you have the boys, and it's like, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I just want to give you flowers. You always rock and roll. You really inspire me all the time. So. Just want to say I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's jump up to now, I guess. And what are the future plans? Like I said, don't go into heavy detail, but what are the future plans for the Gray Rose? What are we going to see from you
in the Gray Rose
in 2020, the end of 25 quarter? What is it? We're actually in quarter 3 right now.
We're in the third quarter.
So what are we going to see from 2025 going into 2026 from the Gray Rose? What can we expect? We're going to see products. We're going to see.
We will see a variety of things, and we'll see a variety of services. I'm doing my part to better myself or to gain more knowledge as to how to approach things. So I'm looking at that. The Gray Rose is really, I don't want to say it's a consulting service. I want to say that I am the go-to person. I don't want to use the word concierge. I'd rather use the liaison. Someone you can come to and ask questions, who's going to do the research, who's going to, get the knowledge and understanding so that you too can get that information more quickly. A lot of times people walk around, they don't know which way to go. They're like, I wish there was somebody I could just call and just say, do you know about this? Well, that has been my thing. That's my jam. Because I had so many calls, whether it be, and this is not to get too personal, people have called me about their relationships, and I've sat on the phone or gone to dinner or gone to lunch with them, and they have just poured out to me. But my life experiences, I've been able to pour back into them to let them know that they are worthy, that there is a better life for them, and that they are worthy of experiencing a better life. People that I knew when Lambert was very young have called me on the phone and said, hey, I know your son, had a life, different learning styles. What was the program that you used, or what did you do? So I'm able to refer, because I'm always going to ask questions. I've been able to refer people to the people that I had to help me along the way with my son. So I'm really an inspirational person. So I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to push you to the max. Somebody does it for me, so I have to give it back. So I'm that person that you can call on to not only hold you accountable, but just to kind of remind you of who you are. And if you're working towards a goal, to just encourage you to keep going. So that's what Gray Rose is really about, because Gray Rose is excellence. And I think excellence.
I love that name so much. It's
yeah,
so cool.
It's not the name. So the Gray Rose is what you'll see. And little by little, I'll start to unravel. I'm writing 3 books right now, so it's slowly unraveling, and working on another business with one of my sisters. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
so,
a lot's happening with the Gray Rose.
Wow. Ooh. And see, and this is why I wanted to do this, is because I think a lot of the times we have our friends and our family that we don't get to talk to a lot.
Yes.
And some people even pass on before we get to hear from them or hear about them. And I think this format that I'm creating with this is going to be super important to that, because you might be like, man, I don't know whatever happened to this person, but you could always refer back to these Journey So Far podcasts, basically, and go, oh wow, I never knew that. And a lot of things, we don't know a lot of things about our friends and family because we talk in passing. Even if we hang out and go to dinner, we talk in passing. We try to get as much information out to these people as quickly as possible. So I think that having this setting and having this conversation that we just had is going to be super important. And I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. Yeah. You're the first episode. You're episode 0. You're episode 0. So I really appreciate it. And this has been the journey so far. So thank you. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. And hey, one more thing. At Barnes & Noble, because you just said something about family not knowing each other, we played a game called Let's Get Deep. And I know it has like different series for different relationships. It's amazing. If you want to get to know your family, I'm not promoting Barnes & Noble. I'm not a sponsor or anything, but get that game. If you really want to get to know your friends and family, get Let's Get Deep. All right, that's my thing tonight. Peace and love.
Peace and love.